Welcome, ma.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
You were telling me that you're still trying to find the nooks and crannies in your office. How has it been?
It's been good. It's been exciting. Yesterday we had a selfie session with the employees,
right.
And you know we have a lot of youngsters in the employment, and they were really excited to have us.
Yeah. And when you are appointed, I wonder about your thoughts. I wonder about the journey that you have traveled, because I think for many of us black people, we have had check-cut journeys. I was telling my children the other day how we used to go to school 5 kilometers in June with the snow, or not the snow, but the cold, that white stuff that comes with the cold on the ground, and you walk 5 kilometers to school. I wonder what your story is like.
I also have a story to tell, like any other black person, in particular female. You talk about the rough edges. When it comes to black females, it's even worse.
True.
With the reasons that are really obvious. So my story is no exception. It's been having a lot of ups and downs. I grew up in Soweto.
Tough Soweto.
Where I was born, White City, if I can be specific. I was raised by my granny, because by then my mother and my father were, working as professionals back in Limpopo. And then I moved at some point to Limpopo, but again, continued to be raised by my granny. So you will imagine that it was not necessarily a very cozy environment. I must say I was the eldest granddaughter, meaning that I have to run with majority of the chores just to make sure that...
At home.
Yeah, because my grandmother was already old.
Yeah.
So, running with the chores and at the same time studying.
Yeah.
It's been not easy. But fast forward, with the support of my parents, my grandmother, as well as maybe the opportunity that I was afforded to in all the organizations that I worked for.
Yeah.
Here I am, PwC in particular, I had a lot of support.
Absolutely.
So immediately after I passed as a chartered accountant, way back when I was still at the Department of Justice, I decided I need to really get back to the profession.
Right.
By then...
You were missing it? Were you missing it?
I was missing it because Department of Justice, you'll appreciate that it's full of lawyers.
Yeah.
But not to say I didn't have the support. I can specifically say majority of the leadership skills I got there because I was appointed as the first head of internal audit within the department.
Sure.
And within the 4.5 years, it's been great because the DG supported me tremendously.
Absolutely.
Until I decided to rejoin PwC.
Yeah. What I like about our tough stories is that they forge you, don't they? I mean, they really toughen you up and you're prepared to deal with anything.
Exactly.
Has that in any way come to the fore in your past experience now, and has it helped you to perhaps where you are today?
Yeah, it definitely did. The reason why I singled out my growing up under my granny is because I believe that taught me to be independent. It taught me to really deal with a lot of challenges, to
find
be
answers
resilient.
on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say, because my parents were professionals, so they would provide the finances so that at least I'm okay. However, if I'm the firstborn granddaughter, running with all these other chores, even if you have money, but to make sure that everything is in place, it becomes rough.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Was it always auditing for you? Was it always accounting?
It's been always auditing, and the story I didn't tell you is that my very first career of choice was medicine.
Oh.
The only reason why I shifted to accounting is because when I went to the local university, few people before me, they indicated that they reached the numbers for medicine students.
Sure.
And I asked them, what is the next profession which is closer to medicine? And they said, BCom accounting.
Okay.
That's how I got to accounting. So it's been auditing ever since. I never looked back, and I never regretted. Yeah. Because I'm enjoying it.
I'm hoping that the people at PwC are watching now, because the next question is very important for them. What kind of leader are you?
I am a combination of a democratic leader and an inspirational leader.
Right.
Yes.
What do you want out of your employees, and how do you come in when they do their work?
For me, the vision I have is to have an undisputed professional services firm that is number one in terms of quality and profitable clients and quality people who are digitally fit. Because, you know,
Digitally fit.
Yes, digitally fit, meaning PwC is no exception when it comes to fourth industrial revolution. So we need to make sure that the employees we have, we upskill them. We need to make sure that when we recruit, we're recruiting those who are disruptors in terms of technology.
Yeah. And what are you finding in terms of the preparedness of the organization that you are inheriting?
PwC is one of the biggest professional services firms. Yes, and you know, we are a purpose-led and values-driven organization. You know, we really make sure that we instill, you know, the culture of excellence, and quality for us is not negotiable. So I believe that they are very prepared. You know, you will appreciate that there's an attack in the profession. We learned from the lessons of, you know, those who fell into...
I was going to say there have been missteps in the past, and that they have included your firm as well. So we took your Steinovs, etc.
Exactly. So we learned from the learnings, and we made sure that we enhance, tighten the controls around the risk management processes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond that, doesn't it? Because it also talks to people's values as well. You have to address that, don't you?
With us, like I said from the beginning, we are a values-driven organization. So we make sure that every single employee who gets into our doorstep, including partners, they are aware of the code of conduct. You know, that code of conduct will really make sure that it cements the values that we always advocate. For example, we have 5 values. One of them is acting with integrity. We make sure that, you know, in addition to being aware, they comply. You know, they are trained on a regular basis just to make sure that, you know, they are refreshing what they know. As I'm speaking to you now, we had the recent e-learning, which was really around our code of conduct, ethics, and all those good things.
This was a thing that hit the industry as a whole, not just PwC, of course. So there's an issue around the industry in terms of believability. For the industry, what do you see as critical things that ought to be undertaken to try to rebuild that trust? Because you are guys that we trust. And then suddenly there was this breach. And to rebuild it, like they say, confidence is a very brittle thing.
That's a very good question, and loaded as well. And I will really talk on behalf of PwC. I know that there's a lot that is being done in the profession. There's an organization, a sort of a forum where, you know, the purpose of the forum is to restore the confidence in the profession. Our Africa CEO, Dion Shango, he's the chairman of that forum. You know, what they are mainly making sure is that, you know, we again seen as the #1 profession to really deal with, you know, compliance and all those governance matters. So it's a lot that we are doing. In particular in PwC, as I said, we have our risk management processes that are led by the risk management partner. He makes sure that on a regular basis, everyone is aware of the steps that we've done. For example, we are cleaning up in terms of the clients that we have, just to ensure that if we, you know, based on the criteria that we have, if we believe that we still want to associate ourselves with those clients, we go on. And if we believe that we don't want to associate ourselves anymore because of some criteria that they don't really tick, we make sure that we engage with them.
You're so brutal and cold about it.
Exactly, exactly. And when it comes to, again, our independence compliance for partners, we have enhanced that process as well. We used to select random partners, but this time we make sure that every partner is, you know, goes through the process.
100%.
Yeah, the listed company clients, we have introduced a program. We call it a real-time review, for all the listed clients, so
Yeah.
that at least we make sure that everything is, done according to
Tough
the
times.
expectations.
Tough times. And I
Yes.
think it needs the steel of a woman to be able to try to weld everything together. Let's step back a little bit from the industry and talk national now. So South Africa is in a crisis. I think everybody agrees with that. But I think what many people find disappointing is that this appears, without quibbling, a crisis that's been man-made, and so it can be man-fixed, or man and woman fixed. Sorry. I want to know what role you think the industry and players like PwC can play in trying to restore South Africa to the growth path.
That's a good question again. My belief is that, South Africa, we're really talking mainly the public sector and the private sector. So for South Africa to be where it's supposed to be, it should be a collective between private sector and public sector, engaging, robust discussions, coming up with innovative solutions that will really, see South Africa, moving forward. If it's about corruption, we make sure that out of those solutions that are coming out of the discussions, they are being applied. So that at least we can also see a lot of investors flowing into the country. Because if there's all these problems, you will appreciate that the investors frown upon us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it needs a collective,
Absolutely,
not only one
100%.
individual.
Shirley, congratulations again. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.